pieces melted back to life. Done my time and served my sentence. Dress me up and watch me die. If it feels good, tastes good, it must be mine. Dynasty decapitated, you just might see a ghost tonight. And if you don't know now, you know. I'm taking back the crown. I'm all dressed up and naked. I see what's mine and take it. Oh, yeah, the crown.
All right, if you heard the music, you already know Hell of a Show is back and we are up and running. So get ready for some fun tonight. If you can see and hear me, let me know in the comments and we will get moving here very shortly. Want to make sure everything is running in the feeds and that everybody is up and ready for the time on here tonight. We are officially on YouTube and Twitter because the Book of Face is not playing very nice over there. Personally, I think it's those red-eyed robots from the future type thing, but we're not going to talk about them, the whole Skynet thing. We're not getting into that. But we're going to be having a blast and getting to have some fun with my guest on here. And well, we're going to answer some questions as well. As if y'all saw the comments in there moving forward on the post was a lot of fun. But if you also see the details on tonight's show, you'll also see exactly what to look for on here. And it's not going to be your run-of-the-mill, just normal show. Of course, what determines normal on this show? That being said, let's go ahead and bring out some guests because I don't want y'all to see just this ugly mug all the whole time here. We got some much better looking people back there. So we're going to go ahead and bring out, let's see, who's not paying attention? Round and round we go. Oh, both of them are looking now. Wow. All right, so first up is Katrina Roets.
Roets.
Roets, there we go. I knew it.
Roets rhymes with notes. No, it's a very common mistake.
It was a test. I was just making sure you're paying attention.
Yeah, it was somebody recently suggested I start like a kids poetry thing called Roets Noets or Roets Poets. And I went, that'd be great if that were my last name.
Exactly. And then we've got the Don here. The Don is here. Don Walker.
How you guys doing?
He's representing down there too. Excellent. Well, thank y'all both for being here tonight and for sitting in on the show and going to take some time on getting to know y'all a little bit. Of course, we have some projects to talk about, yes, but we're definitely going to get to know y'all as well to make sure that you're not, AI robots just trying to take over the world. And if you are, there's no judgment on the show. Just want to throw that out there right now. So we're going to start off with Katrina first. Go ahead and let us know. Tell us who you are, what you do, and what you're working on.
Sure. My name is Katrina Roets. I am a freelance editor and author. I currently have a book on Kickstarter called Cobalt's Castaways. It is 20 plus short stories all about cats living their best lives.
Oh, there you go. I mean,
and that's me.
How can cats not live their best lives? They control us
they
all.
They pretty much do what they want, so it makes it easy to write.
I know. I have 3 of them right over here just waiting for that opportunity. They're going to jump on my shoulder whenever I'm not expecting it.
Oh, yeah. I've got one curl. I have our youngest kid. I have a 17-week-old kitten, and she's curled up next to me sound asleep.
There you go.
I suspect at some point she's going to walk right across my chest because that's her favorite thing.
You will hear, though, one of these jumps up on my shoulder like they normally do. You might actually hear the demon scream. I'm just going to throw that out there right now.
Oh, yeah.
It's not pretty. We're going to move on to the Don. Hey, what are you working on over there? What do you got going?
Hey, so yes, I am Don Walker. I am the writer, penciler, creator of all things at Dork Empire Inc., which is my self-publishing label, and that keeps me pretty busy as it is. So, a lot of stuff coming out from that, yeah.
And it sounds like you've been incredibly busy with a lot of things going on, and you've even got somewhere you're going to be tomorrow, and we're going to delve into that here in a little bit.
Yeah.
But of course, that element of mystery to everyone who's watching. You got to watch to find out.
Stay tuned.
Where will he be?
Hey, we like doing that. It's the whole like Batman thing. Same Batman channel, same Batman time. Got to throw it in there. But not Batman, because have you ever seen me and Batman in the same place at the same time? Oh, yeah, that'll make you go, no, it's not him. Anyway, well, we got to have a lot of fun. First of all, I wanted to talk to, we're going to be talking to both of y'all, of course, but I want to bring up with Don first. Of course, you sent me some of your artwork over. And the reason I wanted to talk to you is because there's one thing that got my attention pretty much, and I want to show it up here. And I'm pretty sure that most people are going to agree with me on this one, that this grabs your attention. He's got some amazing work, by the way, but look at the detail in the blue line work that's on there.
Oh,
And
wow.
I had to do a double take on the one on the left because she's wearing a hand bra, but it's actually a hand bra. I mean, we're talking about like straight up zombie hand bra. I could not believe it. I was like, okay, I've seen, the different ways of doing that before in the past and all, but that's a whole new take right there. That's now I got to ask, because we're that kind of show, did you actually get consent before the zombies did this?
Well, she that character, her name is Insana Gloria, or Crazy Gloria, and she is a police officer who other police officers tried to murder her,
Oh,
Okay.
which caused
not popular, eh?
which caused a psychotic break. And those two hands are two different cops that she went rogue on on a revenge. It's a revenge story. And so those are two guys who got their hands cut off for being bad boys.
I have
Like
heard
one of them African American hand, others a Caucasian hand. So in color, it's going to be more striking in color.
I mean, I've heard the stories about, people getting trophies like, tongues, ears, that kind of thing, but
Hair, yeah.
hands and then wearing them like clothing, that's a whole new one right there. I got to give you kudos on thinking of that one.
That's one of those crazy ideas that came in a dream that I had to draw and then just build a story around it afterwards.
Exactly. Now, you mentioned that, it came to you in a dream. I got to ask you, were you having some really, spicy food that night?
What'd you have for dinner?
I
like my dreams to be a little calmer, so I need to make sure if there's anything I need to avoid.
My brain just works. I have some of my best ideas while I'm asleep, which is weird. Like my subconscious comes out to play, and it's the darkest, weirdest stuff comes out. I'm like, I'll just get up in the middle, not get up and sketch something out or doodle something just to remember it. Because sometimes it just hits you like a lightning bolt, you know what I mean? And you have to put it on paper before you lose it. Now one of them.
Well, here lately, I mean, you bring that up because here lately, I'm actually working on writing my first comic, and I can't get anything during the day. Whenever I've got all this time in the world and the place to myself and everything, I go to bed. And it's like waking up with a leg cramp or something. It's like all of a sudden going, oh, I thought of something. Where's the paper? I got to write this down. And of course, it's, pitch black. How do you write stuff down? Then I read it the next morning going, whose handwriting is this? What did they do? Chicken scratch.
It's gibberish.
Exactly.
Right.
It's
I'm
awesome.
a night person too. So I do all my work at night for the most part. During the day, I have a hard time just getting motivated to write or draw during the daytime. Once it's around 6 or 7 though, wide awake, I'm in the office, just plugging away.
See, I used to be a complete and total night owl, and then I got engaged, and there must be some kind of power in getting engaged because now it comes to be at now, around 9 o'clock, and I'm like, okay, I'm tired. So, not to worry, y'all, or anything. We're not on a time frame on this show, but it gets to be 9 o'clock. I don't turn into a pumpkin. I just fall asleep. If I start snoring, just hit me with a bunch of messages. It'll buzz me out of the wake, awake over here in a little bit. No. But I mean, that's cool that you actually come up with the ideas, and I can only imagine jumping up and drawing that stuff in the middle of the night, and then, going, okay, I can go back to sleep, because I don't see how you go back to sleep with that kind of picture in your head.
It's like once you put it on paper, whether you write it down or just sketch it out loosely, your brain, at least my brain, can relax, and then I can go to sleep until something else wakes me up with another idea. Then you're like back up again. And my wife, of course, a light sleeper, is constantly, what? Huh? What? I'm like, don't worry, ideas. Oh, okay.
That is great. Now, Katrina, I got to ask, when do you get your inspiration, for your stuff that you're writing and everything? Is it the middle of the night you wake up and just
No, I'm not a while I sleep person. Once I'm asleep, I'm asleep.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I mean, I dream and all that, but not usually about stuff I write about. Um, I am probably more, probably it's more of a night thing though. Um, unless there's some reason where I'm intentionally writing during the day. I tend to write, yeah, 6, 7, 8 o'clock at night, and then well, with my cat books, I mean, my own cats are inspiration.
Mm-hmm.
I also get inspiration from like the stories I told my kids when they were young. Um, so as I've started telling them stories when they probably were. I used to read to them until they got to the age where they informed me that they didn't want me to read anymore. They wanted me to make up stories.
Mm-hmm.
They didn't want to hear anybody else's stories anymore. I'm like, why y'all gotta make this hard? So a lot of the stuff is inspired by stuff that I told them when they were kids.
There you
They're all
go.
grown. They're all grown up now.
So I mean, you actually had to work at, putting them to sleep and everything. It wasn't simply just opening a
Right.
book at that point. You're like, okay, let me
Right.
go
I
ahead and
couldn't just
pick up
read
something
Green
on the
Eggs and a
fly.
Ham for the 50th time. It was, they would take the toy books that I write are where that kind of started because they would take their favorite toys
Mm-hmm.
and they'd want stories told about those toys. So I'd be like, okay, well, who are we writing about tonight? Well, Baby Sam and Rhino. And,
Hmm.
and what adventure are they getting up to? Sometimes I'd ask them to give me a location, give me something to work off of. Because when they're young like that, don't have the patience to wait for you to come up with a story.
Right.
It's off the cuff, it's whatever, but they made it to adulthood, so I guess they slept at some point.
In between,
Yeah,
they wouldn't let you know, of course they did, but yeah, they did at
right.
some point. Now I got to ask the question though, if you're going to be, making up these stories and you got to do it on the fly at the, all these times, and it's kind of you're given the narrative at that time that you have no
Hmm.
reference points or anything to fix this up. Were there any times where maybe your mood was a little bit darker at the time and you were like, oh yeah, Mr. Bunny went down the hole and he never came back?
No, not with the kids. They were nice where I definitely didn't necessarily want to do it, but I think like most parental things, you just kind of suck it up and do it anyway.
I mean, I would be that demented. I'm sorry. I've done some things to my kids in the past that, we had a Chucky doll that was animatronic that was, the same
Oh,
size and everything. And I stuck it in my son's bed to the point where as soon as he pulled back the covers, the thing's head went spinning around and started talking to him. And he didn't enjoy that as much. And my
no.
son didn't
Mm-mm.
enjoy me doing that. My
I,
daughter,
I I tried to make it so that my kids would not send me their therapy bills when they got
right.
older.
Well, see, the thing is my daughter is actually 5 years younger than my son. She's busting out laughing at him the entire time this is happening. She's not scared at all. She was my little Michael Myers in training, I guess I called her. I mean,
Mm.
she was that way. She brings a tear to my eye. I'm so proud of her. Now, speaking of some of the scary things out there, I got to ask because it's the spooky time of the year. It's the most wonderful time of the year, and I will hashtag the snot out of that one, even though it's not that other holiday that's coming up.
It's
There,
not the
might,
other most wonderful time.
exactly, exactly. So we're going with that. So tell me, what's one of your favorite scary movies?
I don't do scary movies. I've been teased all month. If anybody's follows me on Facebook or anything, you'll see I've been doing daily Instagram posts with a picture of a cat that's in the book, as well as like their favorite Halloween movie.
Hmm.
Based on I have a really badly beat up calendar here. Um,
Okay.
and I've been teased because they're all like kids movies, like almost all of them. I think the most, I mean, the adult movie is, I mean, I have Rocky Horror on there, but I also have Repo the Genetic Opera.
Okay.
So those are definitely not kid movies per se.
Mhm.
I mean, I wouldn't let my kids have watched Repo, that's a little bit much, um, but yeah, I mean, I'm still a very kid at heart. I mean, I can't get through a Halloween season without watching like the Charlie Brown and Garfield Halloween specials,
Hmm.
which sadly are no longer on TV. So yay for DVDs and YouTube.
Disney Plus, I think, has the Charlie Brown stuff, but the
No,
Garfield.
no, unfortunately, Apple
Oh, that's right. Apple
Apple
got
has
them.
the rights,
Yes.
and they are making it free to watch from like the 28th of October to the 31st
Mm-hmm.
without an Apple Plus subscription. But it's too much work for me. I have it on DVD. It's just easy just to flip to the DVD binder and pull it out and put it in and call it good. And the Garfield special is on YouTube.
Oh, okay.
The company Garfield and Friends actually a couple years ago uploaded the 20-minute Halloween, all the holiday specials to YouTube.
Nice.
Yeah,
Very
which is a
nice.
nice find because yay for smart TVs and pushing the YouTube button.
If only they would do that with the Simpsons Halloween specials, but you never can
Yeah,
find those either.
yeah.
Well, Don, I'm kind of scared to ask, but what's something that scares you over there?
It's funny. I have never really been into horror movies that much. Like as a kid, I watched like the Halloweens and the Friday the 13th movies, the L Train movies, but they're never my thing. But my daughter, who is presently 15, loves all those movies.
Mm.
So I've had to introduce her to a lot of those classics over the last like 3 or 4 years. So I've been watching a lot more horror movies than ever. I personally like the horror movies that are kind of based in reality. Like if it could really happen in real life, that's a scary movie. My favorite lately have been the Strangers movies.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Those home invasion movies.
Yep.
So that could happen. That's terrifying to me.
I just want you to know that I just looked up at my front door and realized it was unlocked. And went, maybe I should pause for a second.
If you have to go for a second, we'll understand. Yeah.
I unlocked the door.
It's okay. The guy in the background can go ahead and get that for you. We saw him back there moving just a minute ago.
Yeah.
Hello, Mr. Murderer. Can you please get that door?
Would you mind locking that door real quick?
A lot of the modern ones I don't really care for. Like I just watched Halloween Ends.
Mm-hmm.
That was pretty lackluster.
Yeah, I've heard a lot of really mixed reviews on that.
The one before that, the Blumhouse, the second Blumhouse one before Halloween Ends, was better. But my daughter and I found ourselves rooting for Michael Myers.
Oh.
By the end of the second one.
Yep.
Because everyone's so stupid in these movies.
Yep.
Like at one point in the second one, the whole town has him encircled, and they're beating him with like clubs or bats or whatever. No one's trying to shoot him in the head.
Nope.
Or hit him in the head. And my daughter's screaming, "Shoot him in the head! Shoot him in the head!" I'm like, "No, honey, they have a sequel. That's not gonna happen." Like,
you gotta have another one. You can't kill him.
Exactly.
That is great. Now, I got to ask, what kind of inspiration do you have whenever you're writing? The stuff that you've got. I know Katrina already said, she writes about cats. Therefore, there are cats around all over the place.
Cats and toys.
Yeah. So, is there anything else? Like, do you have certain music that you play at times? Do you have TV shows, movies, anything going in the background?
For me personally, inspiration comes from everywhere. Like my wife, my daughter, my friends, TV shows I watch, films I watch, comics I read, But again, a lot of times, a lot of my concepts that I've illustrated thus far or written and illustrated have come as just images in my head.
Mm-hmm.
I have to write it down. And then once I draw it, I look at this person or thing, I'm like, I kind of figure out what are they about? Like, why did I have to write this down or draw it? And usually story builds from there. Mm-hmm. I'm also a big sci-fi guy. So a lot of my concepts are either like science fiction related. Agent Wild, Reaper Core, they're all sci-fi action books. I sent you some of that stuff too. Dreadlock the Barbarian, which is a newer character, also sci-fi related. Plus, all my books are shared universe. Like Agent Wild is like the modern day, and then Reaper Core and Dreadlock the Barbarian are all in the future, the same universe. And the ultimate goal is the more Agent Wild and modern day books I produce, you'll see those modern day books inform the future that is Reaper Core and Dreadlock the Barbarian.
Okay.
So that's the long game for that. But yeah, usually images first or a name. Like Dreadlock the Barbarian was a name I came up with out of nowhere. This popped in my head. I'm like, what would that guy look like? And I started sketching stuff out. And he was first a throwaway story in an anthology called Danger Arcade, which I also sent you a copy of that. But I enjoyed writing and drawing it so much. Like, you know, something's good when the characters start writing themselves. And you're just like, yes, keep going. That's good. Yes. Yes, imaginary character. All right.
What are you going to do next?
And so I expanded that 10-page story from the anthology into a full-fledged one-shot that's coming out in February, because it was just so much fun, and I had so much to say with that guy, you know?
Nice. And you said that's coming out in February is what you were shooting for?
Yeah, it's almost, okay, the art's done. It's presently being lettered by my letterer. So I'm hoping soon. And then once I go to my printer, because of COVID and everything else going on in the world and supply chain issues, it's going to be a 13-week turnaround for the book from printing and shipping. It's in South Korea, though. So yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I do offset printing because of the quality and then the cost. Like, I get 1,000 books for like $1,600.
Yeah.
Okay.
I have stock for a while. You know what I mean?
Right. My only concern with doing that is I just don't have anywhere to put all that. I'd be renting storage units.
Right. My current office, which I'm in right now, is pretty packed. I have a really large, like 4-tiered metal shelf. It's like 200 pounds by itself, empty, and that's got all my comics, packaging materials for shipping. But it's getting kind of full. Like, the Dreadlock books will probably fill up the shelf. I have to figure something out. Office is only so big. I can't put anything else in the house. My wife's like, no, keep it in your office. That's it. One place for it.
Now, you're talking about the roles, you know, that are necessary to create comics and everything. That brings up my next thing that I want to bring up is Katrina not only, you know, writes and does that kind of fun stuff, but also does editing as well.
Yeah.
So how does that work with you? I mean, is there anything that you get that you look at and you go, I just can't do anything with it? Or is there something that you always figure out a way to? I mean, I'm curious about that.
I try not to give up on anybody.
Mm-hmm.
I've got one right now that's a little bit challenging. For those who don't know, I am Russell Nolte's proofreader.
Mm-hmm.
And I tend to compare projects to a Russell project.
Mm-hmm.
A Russell project is fairly smooth. We've been working together for years now. And so I know what I'm looking for or whatever. So it's a fairly fast, smooth process. And so this one is the opposite of a Russell project. The difference is also this is a full edit. So I'm doing story feedback and I'm doing things like that. It's a lot slower. There's a lot more corrections that to be made. But I work really hard not to give up on somebody, because if you have the drive to put together like this is a novel, if you've written an entire 200+ page novel, you know, I'm not giving up on you because you've got something there that we can work with.
Right.
With a comic, I don't think I've ever had one that I've just been like, I don't know what to do with this. Because I think, again, you know, comic writing is not easy.
Right.
There's a reason I don't do it. People have been like, you write books and you edit comics and stuff. Why haven't you written one? And I'm like, that's hard, guys.
Oh, yeah.
Like, breaking stuff into panels and being able to see that all, that's work.
One thing, if I can help you demystify writing comics, as long as you can describe a scene coherently, your artist will do the rest.
Right.
That's a fair point.
You don't have to be super specific or precious with writing comics. Get the point across and let the artist do their job.
Yeah.
Yep.
Like Mark Wade said it once. He said in a panel, and we all know Mark Waid. Mark Waid's just amazing writer and been out forever. He goes, as a writer, I am the architect. I write up the plan for the house. The artist builds the house.
Okay.
And so,
I like that.
you can rely. If you have a good artist, you can rely on them to get the point across.
Yeah.
And just do the work for you. Like, and again, it's a dialogue. So if you hire an artist you like, you'll talk to them anyway before you even give them a script, or even after you give them a script. They might have questions. You want that feedback back and forth between you and he or she, and then they can go off and just draw it.
Yeah.
And then you come back and script it after they're done. So they'll bring new ideas to it you didn't think about. They might add panels, subtract panels for the flow and storytelling purposes of it all. And so, it's a collaborative effort. I tell people to look at it that way for sure. And don't worry too much about, am I writing it correctly?
Yeah.
Right.
Well, and people say, you've seen enough comic strips, you know what they look like.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, maybe I'm just making excuses at this point. The closest I've come is the new book has a story with one of the cats as a comic creator. And that's my cover. I love this cover so much.
Oh yeah.
But I've joked for a couple of years now that I was going to write a comic about this group called Taco Ninjas and the Burrito Banditos, which is their arch nemesis. And it has never kind of come about, but so I actually wrote it out in the new book. I was like, if anybody ever wondered what that was supposed to be, here's the loose storyline for it.
There you go. That
Yeah.
You got to have the background on a story like that. You can't just go.
You can't just jump in with the Taco Ninjas and go, you guys know about the Taco Ninjas, right? And they were actually going to be ninjas that were tacos. But
I mean, it almost sounds like a Fight Club thing. The first rule of Taco Ninjas. Now, I got to ask, with your book that's out there that you're dealing with on the campaign right now and everything, Cobalt, where did that name come from? One of the cats?
Okay. My first book in the cat series is called Apo's Army. And Apo is short for A. poinsettia, who is a feeder down in Florida of feral cat colonies. Okay. Now Apo's Army, very, alliterative. And then Cobalt is actually his girlfriend. But together they actually run a cat rescue where they're taking kittens and some adult cats, those that can be socialized and rehomed, off the streets, socializing them, making sure they're healthy, and then finding them new homes. Okay. She is actually also the interior artist on all of my books.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, she's 20. I started working with her when she was 19. She absolutely loves it. She gets so excited every time I'm like, I've got a new book. And together, her and I are putting together a coloring book, actually.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. It's got all of the interior art from the first 4 books, plus some extra pieces. And then I'll probably do the next book, add that art, and then release the coloring book alongside the next book.
Nice.
Yeah.
And that's something that I know for sure we'll end up getting because my fiance absolutely loves coloring books. That's kind of our weakness. She likes getting comic books to a degree. She's still new to all of this. But anytime any campaign has a coloring book, she has to get it. And I probably shouldn't have said that out loud because there are going to be other.
Well, I will let her know if she's listening that all of the art in all of my books, at the end of the book, there's a download link that you can go to, and all of the art in my books is done in coloring book form, so you can actually download all of the art, interior art, and print it out as coloring pages.
No, we'll make sure she hears that. Yeah, no, but yeah, we'll make sure she gets that.
Yeah, make sure she gets that message.
I mean, I'm sure she's probably even looking at Don's blue lines that I've got that he sent to me, And she's probably gonna be like, hey, I color that.
I can color that in.
Oh, all these creators are gonna be like, we got coloring books, we got coloring books. And I'm gonna be like, I'm broke.
Please, no, don't make any more.
But you got to have fun with what you got out there. And you've
Yeah.
actually got, not only is it a fun project with what you're working on with Cobalts, but it's actually, it's something to learn from on there as well, because you want to be respectful and you want to be, responsible about what you're doing with these cats.
Right. Yeah, absolutely. And all of the cats in the book are either my cats that I own personally or who own me personally, or they are actually real cats who live in the feral cat colonies down in Florida. So these are not made up cats. I mean, the stories are made up, but the cats themselves are actually real cats.
Mm-hmm. So technically, you hired actors and actresses for this.
Yes, yes, I did.
Katrina's leveled up over there.
Yeah, and I've got the Humane Society on site just to make sure no animals were harmed in the making of this book.
Yeah. Got to throw that in there as well.
That's right.
Even though cats will scare the snot out of you at some of the stuff they do. I know mine, they decide to leap, they'll get up on the ceiling in the trailer and then all of a sudden they're done and they want to just jump down and they think they're immortal. I don't know how many more lives they have left, but I'll hear thud and they land flat on their face or whatever, shake it off and walk off. And I'm like, how many times before that's not going to happen?
Right.
And I'm sorry, but I laugh at them. I'm human. I do.
I have two. Like I said, I have a 17-week-old kitten, and she was 6 weeks when we brought her home.
Mm-hmm.
And it's in the first week of having her, she figured out how to go up the stairs because I live in a 2-story house.
Mm-hmm.
She figured out how to go up the stairs, but she didn't quite figure out how to come down the stairs. And she literally rolled head over heels. And my first reaction was to laugh because it was the most ridiculous. You don't see cats just tumble. And my first reaction was to laugh and then to make sure, obviously, that she was okay. But yeah, she did the same thing. She got up, shook it off, and went running after one of the other cats to play. And I went,
Please
okay,
tell me.
Please don't do that again.
Please tell me you named that one Slinky.
No. Her name is Freya. She was not very goddess-like in that moment, but
Slinky would have been the absolute perfect one. I mean, it's Slinky just going down the stairs.
Or Tumbles. They were Tumbles.
There you go.
Not to date myself, but she was definitely not a weeble wobble that day.
Oh, they are a mess. I will give you that. I keep trying to keep a watchful eye on a couple of them here. There's one in the chair behind me, and it looks like he's prepping to get on my shoulder. As soon as I know he's watching, he's like, "No, I'm not doing anything."
I don't know what you're talking about.
Now it's ironic that you have this project with the cats on here, and then Don sends me some stuff to have, to show off on the show, and he sent this, and I was like, okay, we have a theme tonight. I didn't realize we had an actual theme. That is great. So, I mean, yeah, cats are definitely the theme on this one. If you're a dog lover,
I have no cats. What's over?
Yeah.
Well, there are days I would. Oh no.
Yeah, my daughter wants one, but no cats.
That reminds. Did anybody read my story about the cable guy that came to my house?
No.
So my cable went wonky completely, where all of a sudden I only had 3 channels, but none of them worked. Now, obviously, I pay for more than 3 channels, so it took me a 2-hour phone call with 4 transfers to convince them to send somebody out to my house. But they couldn't do it for a week. And I was like, oh, I'm done on this phone call. Just fine. Send him out next week.
Mm-hmm.
The guy shows up, takes one step and one of my cats greets him at the door. He goes, I can't come in this house. I'm like, what? I'm extremely allergic to cats. I can't touch anything in here. And I was like, why would you get a job as a cable man going to people's houses if you're allergic to animals? Why would you do that?
I agree.
And it was bad. Like, I had to unhook the cable box, put it in a trash, the old one, put it in a trash bag and hand it to him. Like we realized that they've replaced the cable box a couple of times, but never the power cord to it.
Hmm.
So he decided to go get a new power cord. He literally stands in my front door and tosses it across my living room to me.
Wow.
Like he did no work. And I said to my partner, I said, look, if there's a charge on the cable bill for this guy coming out here, you let me know and I will call them and explain to them who did all of the work.
Exactly.
Because it was not the cable guy. It was him standing in the doorway while I unhooked everything, rehooked it all up, got it all working. The only thing he did was sit on it's when it was time to sent the signal to the cable box on his phone.
Hmm.
I could have done that automatically by calling them. I didn't need him at all.
So we're just going to throw this out there right now. Katrina now has the ability to go ahead and fix your cable. So just let her know.
Right.
She'll come over and take care of it. She hasn't experienced
Starting a new side gig. With the editing thing doesn't work out.
Call it cat calling cable. No, can't do that. No, never mind.
No.
That's why I don't have cable anymore or satellite anymore, because you can't deal with these people on the other end of the line.
Oh, it was terrible.
I have all streamers now. That's all I do. I have Amazon Fire Stick on every TV in the house.
Yep.
We came this close.
Yep.
We looked into like YouTube TV, so we'd have a streaming thing,
Mhm.
but it turns out it was exactly the same cost as what I was paying for the cable.
Yes.
So I was like, well, since we have our cable and our internet bundled, let's for right now we'll leave it. But the next time it goes out, I'm done.
Yeah.
Right.
I'm not spending 2 hours on the phone being transferred from department to department because nobody knows how to
Mhm.
just put a service request in. And it used to pre-COVID, it was a lot easier because if something went wonky with the cable box, I literally would just unhook it, take it over about 20 minutes from here. There was a little like depot thing
Mhm.
where I could walk in and exchange it and come home and hook the new one up. And it was that simple. But with COVID, they shut all that down, and now they insist on sending out a technician.
Yeah.
I was like, yeah, I don't need a technician. It's unplugging the power cord, unhooking the HDMI cable and unscrewing the cable.
Yep.
And then redoing it. It's not rocket science here, guys.
Mhm.
But yeah, it baffled me completely that they would send out somebody who was extremely allergic to cats.
Mhm.
Like, why would you even do that? Like,
That's I mean, because you're going to run into it on
Yeah.
several instances out there. There's no way you're going to be, the luckiest person in the world and never have any animals
never come
whatsoever in
across.
the houses.
Right, exactly.
I mean, I've done it before where I went into a house and there were actually loose snakes in there, the
Oh.
pythons. So it was like,
Yep, nope.
okay,
I
I'm
would
cool with that. And he was
I
like,
would have backed right back out. I don't do
well,
snakes.
the guy even told me, he was like, if they happen to come up close to you, they're just checking you out. Don't freak out or anything. I'm like, if they come up close, I'm going to stop the work until they not close.
Right, yeah. If they come close to me, I guarantee there will be some level of like freezing and internally panicking. Please keep your snakes away from me.
I mean, there are some things that you can't control whenever you're out there and dealing with things. That's just one of the things. I mean,
Right.
Your cable guy situation, that should have been one of those things they look at going, that's not the role we want to put you in. We'll put you in call center.
Right, or or something else. Like there's got to be or dispatch.
Exactly.
Something else that you could be doing if you're insisting on working with the cable company.
Yep. Exactly.
But going out to the person's home and then not actually being able to do any work.
Mhm.
Or take some Claritin and suck it up.
Well, I was tempted to go
There you
into
go.
my bathroom and offer him some Benadryl. Like,
Yep.
like I've got, multiple allergy meds in my house. Would you like to take a couple?
Exactly.
Would it help?
See, I'm twisted enough. I would ask him if he was like some version of an Egyptian mummy or something like that, and he was just scared of cats. I've been that way. I didn't like
Right. Is that
man.
it? You're just scared
But
of them.
that's how twisted I am. So
No, I could
yeah.
hear him like out on his front porch calling his supervisor,
Uh-huh.
telling him how like he was, deathly allergic and he was already like coughing and wheezing and having trouble just by like being in the house for 2 minutes and and he gave me his supervisor's phone number. So if I couldn't get it working, I could call so they could send somebody else out. Trust me, I held on to that number just in case the next time it goes down, I'm just gonna go directly to the tech supervisor and be
Oh, yeah.
like, look,
Yep.
you either put me with directly who I need to talk to, or you can come out and pick everything up and I'm done.
I mean, you could, they could always send him out in a hazmat suit. That'll take care of it too.
That won't get the neighbors questioning anything. Guy in, the full bodysuit with the big helmet on, and
Oh, you would have to record that. That would have to be like
oh
a
yeah,
TikTok thing or YouTube or something on there, and make believe like you have an ET that they found or something, and just
right.
really play it off. Oh, you got to have fun with that kind of stuff. Don, I got to ask you, with some of the stuff you've been dealing with, with your work and everything, what are some of the most memorable experiences you've had with the cons?
Oh wow.
Because I know you just had DonCon.
Yeah, oh yeah.
True,
That was a
yeah,
blast.
gone.
Oh yeah, we had 4 Dons all hanging out with their artwork. It's funny. So the Dons are all part of a group that the group called the Sketchy Bug Group. I helped found this group. I was one of 4 founders 10 years ago. This is our 10th year right now.
Wow.
It's a nationwide comic book creator collective, but most of us are in California. And there's actually 5 Dons locally. The 5th Don couldn't make it. He was busy. Don Ho is his name. He's an anchor for like Marvel and DC. Okay. So he's busy doing, Marvel and DC books, But 4 of us had the time to hang out last Saturday and, little mini convention at the Comic Bug comic shop in Manhattan Beach, California, which is my local comic shop. It's like 3 miles up the street from my house. And it was a blast. I love conventions of all sizes, mainly because I like to see what people think of my work. We sit here, in front of computer screens or from my drawing table for months on end crafting these things. Months later, get them published, would be a Kickstarter or whatever. And then the show is the chance for me to go, here, take a look. And get a visceral right away reaction, And what's even better is when people buy something from you, and you see them at the next show.
Yes.
They're like, oh man, I love that. Do you have any more? Or what else you got? This is cool. I went to an Arizona show years ago before COVID, like the year before COVID. Went to a show, Amazing Arizona or something con. And I had a kid who's probably like no more than 14 years old walk past my table, stop like he got struck by a lightning bolt. Just stop, like, turned around and picked up one of my books. I think it was Reaper Core. Picked it up, started thumbing through it, and I could see on his face, like his eyes got wide, and he was super excited. He's like, "Oh my god, who publishes this? This is Marvel? Is this DC?" I'm like, "No, that's my little publishing company." He's like, "This should be a Marvel DC." I'm like, "Cool, thanks, man." Like, I'll take it. Like, that's awesome. And he bought it and happily went on his way. And I was on cloud 9 for about an hour or 2.
Right.
Now I gotta ask,
yeah.
You ever have those that'll come up to the table and give the obligatory? And I know that most every artist goes through this, and I don't see how y'all are able not to Hulk out after you hear this, but you get the whole, so did you do all these yourself?
The most common first line from a consumer is always, "Are you the artist?" Mind you, I have a giant banner behind me that says Don Walker, artist, writer. Sometimes now it's going like this. I don't say anything because I point to the banner. They're like, "Oh, cool," and it's like, "Yeah, it is okay." Like,
see, that's why you need to add pointer to that banner. Just put the word pointer. So they'll be like, "So are you the artist?" And you'll point, and they'll be like, "Pointer." Oh, I get it.
Or I do like a Wile E. Coyote sign, like this just says yes.
Yeah.
Like, now, conversely, though, unfortunately, I have writer friends who get that exact same question. Are you the
I
artist?
do.
Yeah.
I
And
do.
okay,
Yeah.
and you're like, no, I'm the writer. And they just walk away.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yep. I've
That
had that
that
happen.
burns me up more than anything else.
Yes.
I'll be next to my writer friends going, what the hell, man? Like,
Yeah.
that's art also. Writing is an art form, people.
Yeah.
Come on.
Exactly.
Like,
Yeah.
give them some
I've
slack.
had people. I have like little 5x7 prints. Of a couple of my characters that I have on the table that were done by Josh Lyman,
Mm-hmm.
and they're so super cute. And I've had people super interested, in them, and they're like, "Did you draw this?" I'm like, "No," and they turn around and walk away. I'm like, "It doesn't matter. They were drawn by somebody better than me. You don't want my art. Trust me, you don't want me trying to draw these."
But you know what, though? I've actually convinced some of my writer friends to do drawings.
Hmm.
Even if they're bad, just draw something and make prints of it.
Mm-hmm.
One of my writer friends drew a Batman on top of a building, and it's not terrible. It's not like publishing quality, but it's not terrible. And he sells them. People get excited because he drew it, even though he's a writer. The
Right.
writer, he drew something. They love it. Like, I think your bad drawings actually sell for you because your opinion of your art does not mean someone else is going to dislike it. Someone's going to come to your channel and go, "I like that. Did you draw that?" And you go, "Yeah." They go, "Cool, I'll take it."
So what you're
Happens all
telling
the
me
time.
is people actually enjoy stick figure art. Then I have a
Yep.
chance, right?
That's exactly it. I did Inktober a couple of years ago,
Uh-huh.
but I did it with Indietober.
Yep.
I don't know if you guys are familiar with Indietober.
Yep.
And I'm the only person that in that group that completed all 31 days.
Mm-hmm.
And I did it was two books a day, and I did stick figure art, like stick figure drawings of like whatever I thought the main character was
Mm-hmm.
for 31 days, and it was hard. That's what I realized, that I'm not a great artist by any pretend stretch of the imagination, but like I would pencil the little stick figure, and then I would take an ink, like a Sharpie ink pen, and go over it. It would
Mm-hmm.
take me like 20 minutes a character. It's like, how do real artists do this? Because I couldn't do it.
I have a buddy, one of my fellow Dons, Don Borgmeyer. He's a writer of a book called Bart Bartson and Demolition Dinosaur. He actually illustrated a stick figure comic called Satanic Panic.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
about
Yep.
it's about some middle school kid friends who are D&D players, and like they open a portal to hell or something.
Mm-hmm.
And he uses Clip Studio Paint program to
Okay.
draw his stick figures.
Yep.
It's the most
Wow.
beautiful stick figure drawing book I've ever seen. Like, it's super precise stick figures, but it looks great. It's like, and he's learning. It's funny. He's told me at the DonCon, he told me writing that book and illustrating it made him a better writer, because once he started illustrating a comic, doing the sequential art,
Mm-hmm.
he learned what to add and subtract to his scripts
Okay.
for an experienced artist, rather. And
Okay.
so, yeah, so now his scripts are much smaller, much more to the point. Yeah. He knows, if he's given his artist something really hard to draw or not, because he had to draw these things.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a fantastic little book called Satanic Panic.
Yeah, I always appreciate artists because I was never one. So I've always appreciated people who have that skill set and that ability and the patience. I don't have the patience. And but even just doing those little stick figures for 31 days raised my appreciation level,
I bet, yeah.
of what artists do.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Now, I got to ask, with you working on your book right now and everything, this is going to finish up the year for you on campaigns, I'm pretty sure, because you still have the fulfillment to finish up and everything.
Hmm.
What do you have planned out for 2023? Or can you talk about it?
Yeah, no, for me, you mean me, right?
Yes.
Okay. Before I just assume we're all talking about me. I will have in 2023, fingers crossed, knock on wood, salt over the shoulder, the works. I will have holidays at the toy store. So we going back to the toy store series.
Mhm.
We'll do holidays at the toy store, which would be holidays from all over the world. Um, and then I'm hoping for a third cat book, and somewhere in there we'll have the coloring book.
Nice.
So that's my plan for 2023.
So yeah, definitely that coloring book. Just hold one aside for me. You already know it's going to happen.
It's
Already
gonna
been
happen.
put up here, and I'm sure she's watched it or will be watching it. So yeah. Oy. And Dawn's probably down there going, "I'm fixing to do a coloring
I
book
want
too.
to
I
do a
haven't even
coloring
thought
book.
about
Yeah.
it yet."
Actually, my group, the Sketchy Book group, we're actually gonna do a coloring book.
There you
But,
go.
but
There
it's,
you go.
it's only gonna be sold at the comic shop that we go to on a regular basis.
Oh, okay.
He has 2 stores, so it'll be online to the store.
I was gonna
But
say
also in
I'm
store.
sure you can online order it.
Yeah, it'll be an online order. Yeah.
Now, in talking about what's coming up next for you and everything, Dawn, you're going to be somewhere tomorrow, I believe, is what you were talking about too.
Yeah, it's the East End Art and Comic Book Takeover at the DA Art Center in Pomona. It's the first annual show, so it's comics and art show. I'm one of 12 guests? 12
Nice.
comic creators, and then there's going to be other artists and fine artists and stuff there too. But that's going to be a blast. It's free to the public. So if you're in Pomona or want to drive down to Pomona, please come down, see me and my friends, and look at cool art and comics, and have a fun, family-filled day.
There you go.
Fun.
Well, if I drive tonight and start making my way
Right.
over there, I'll be able to see you packing it up by the time it's over with. Okay, so yeah, we're probably
Right.
not going to make this one.
Excuse me.
Way over here in Tennessee, so yeah. Not
yeah.
close.
Yeah, you're okay. Don't worry.
So what else are you working on? What else do you have plans for 2023?
So, Dreadlock the Barbarian, issue 0, one shot, will be out, I believe, no later in February. Fingers crossed. The sketchbook project, which was my last Kickstarter, the Dawn sketchbook number 2, Futures, that's kind of on the back burner. We funded it, but then I had almost $700 in drop pledges.
Oh,
Ooh.
And so,
I just saw a campaign that had that problem with
yeah.
$737 of pledges that didn't go through.
Yeah. And so,
Ooh.
while the art's almost done, now I'm kind of scrambling to find money for that.
Mm-hmm.
I can't print it and ship it anymore.
Mm-hmm.
It's not enough money. And we're family wise, we're having a little problem. My wife was laid off about 3 months ago.
Oh, okay.
So we're struggling there. My money comes in from doing freelance comic book artwork.
Mm-hmm.
And when I'm doing my own thing, I'm not doing freelance comic book artwork. So now I have to switch it back to doing more freelance work.
Right.
All that money's going to bills. And so I have to scramble and save nickels and dimes here and there to get that book printed and out to people. Other than that, in production right now is the Kitten and Cat book.
Mm-hmm.
You posted a shot of that. I gave you a shot of that.
Mm-hmm.
That I created, I designed it, I'm writing it. But I came across this amazing creator, this 18-year-old creator named Marino Gonzalez. They're on Instagram by the name of Neon Jazz Party.
Oh, fun.
Okay.
And they are a animation student. And so, I was at LA Comic Con last year, and they come up with their dad with 2 giant binders full of artwork.
Mm-hmm.
And they're just amazing. I'm like, holy crap. Are you working on anything? I'm just a student. I'm like, oh, well, damn. Okay. I'm next to Chuck Patton. I don't know if you guys know who Chuck Patton is.
Mm-hmm.
Chuck was an artist for DC, in the 90s. Still occasionally works for them, but also is an award-winning director and producer of animation.
Mm-hmm.
And I gave the sketchbooks to him. He was super impressed. I'm like, so I'm like, look, Marino, I got some for you. Give me your contact information. I want to talk to you after the show. And that's when I pitched them the Kitten and Cat concept, which I had rolling around for a long time. I designed a character a while back. it's more of a kid's book, more like a Pixar type kids book
Okay.
for kids, but it's got adult stuff in it too.
Mhm.
And I was like, your style's perfect for this. Will you please draw this? I will pay you the whole thing. We're gonna Kickstart it, obviously. I don't have that kind of money to give them, but they're willing to do some work ahead of time to get paid just for the Kickstarter campaign.
Mhm.
But that won't start until both Dreadlock and the Dawn sketchbook are both printed and shipped out to backers. I'm not going to have 3-4 campaigns running around.
Right.
You know, I'm not that guy. Like, it's bad enough. Most of my campaigns end up late. I don't know what it is, but like for some reason, like Murphy's Law lives in my house.
Yes.
Like, they sleep on my bed for some reason. Like every time I do a campaign, something goes wrong. Like I have a health problem, or there's the whole issue with the backers all the pledges not going through. It's ridiculous. Now, while my stuff's late, it's always really good. And that's the only saving grace I can say for myself is that it's going to be late. You're going to like it when you get it.
There you go.
And other than that, like for 2023, I have some projects with the Sketchybug group that I'll be involved with, but those are kind of up in the air, but we have plans for more content.
Nice. So you got plenty of stuff going on. I mean, both of y'all actually have quite a bit.
Oh,
going
yeah.
on.
Yeah.
And Katrina, not even with the books that you mentioned, but you've still got, the editing that you're doing as well.
Right.
On top of all that as well. So now, are you taking on clients for editing as well still?
I am currently. Yep.
Okay. So how do they contact you for that?
You can contact me at Katrina at Cat Scratch Press.
Okay.
Yep. Just email me with editing in the subject line, and
okay.
Yeah, we can talk. Or if you go to lifewithkatie.com, there is a services page on the website, so you can see exactly what I do, my fees, and everything. I try to make it as simple and straightforward as I can for everybody.
Excellent. And my recommendation is if you're going to reach out to her for editing, misspell editing whenever you put it in the subject line there. That'll get her.
Please do. And that way I'll make sure I add that extra, fee on for, hard to work with people.
And Don, are you taking commissions or anything?
Yeah, I'm good for commissions for covers and pinups at the moment. Sequentials I don't have time for. I'm all the logistics of getting this other stuff done and writing the new book with for Kit and Kat. So pinups, covers. I have a cover with Advent I'm working on right now for their book Cosmos. I have a couple different ones for Yule's Vision coming up with their new book. So I'm on Instagram at Don_Space Knight. So if you want to hit me up about anything you want to talk about possibly me illustrating, I'm all ears. If I can fit it in and it's fun to do, I'm down.
There you go. And just to let everyone know, very easy. We've got links are embedded in the feeds. Some of these were not embedded in there, but if you do need to get a hold of them for anything and you forget how to get a hold of them, reach out to me. I'll get a hold of them. Trust me, we'll get you to them one way or another. And if you need your cable fixed, Katrina is available for that.
That's right. In the mid-Michigan area.
Oh, sure. Now you're going to tell us it's only in a small area. I see how it is.
Well, if you want to pay for my travel expenses,
stranger things.
Then I'll come to your house and fix your cable for you.
Exactly. You never know. You may get a call from California saying, fix my cable, and you'd be like, well,
Don will call me one day and he'll be like, hey, I decided to go back to cable. I'll be like, I gotcha.
Hey, you can always teach his wife how to fix cable. That'll get her next job right there. There you go.
There you go.
I'm a problem.
Of course, she's allergic to cats, though.
Exactly right. Yeah, there goes that job. Jeez, so close, so close,
so close. We're almost there for her.
Well, it has been an absolute honor having y'all on here and being able to chat with y'all this evening. I'm going to give you full screen each time on here to go ahead and let everybody know what you're working on, where to find you, and definitely let them know about any projects you've got going on right now. Katrina, you are up first.
All right. Hi, guys. Katrina Roets. You can find me at Cat Scratch Press on Facebook. You can find me at Life with Katie on Instagram, at Katrina Roets on Twitter. I really should start combining these so they're all the same. If you're interested in my book, it is Cobalt's Castaways, currently on Kickstarter. It is 20 plus stories about cats living their best lives. We have presidential cats, chef cats, baseball playing cats, cats who throw parties, all sorts of things. You can find that at catscratchpress.com. It's cat with a K. And yeah, that's me.
Very cool. And now we're going to give full screen to Don. Go ahead and let us know on your end.
Hey, gang. So, yes, again, Don Walker. Upcoming books, Dreadlock the Barbarian, Kitten and Cat, the Don Sketchbook #2. For all the information on those books and anything else I have going on that might pop off between now and next year, go to Don_Space Night on Instagram. Look for this mug on Facebook under Don Walker. And for my presently published books that are available, you can go to www.dorkempireinc.bigcartel.com. And if I can implore you all out there, go see Black Adam, go see Black Panther Wakanda Forever. Representation matters to me, to you, to everyone. See you guys later. Thanks for stopping by.
Excellent. Yeah, I'm with you on that. I'm definitely going to see both of them.
Yeah.
Anyway. I don't care what the haters are saying out there and everything. I still got to see it, and then I'll make my own. Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and say it right here just to finish this off. I like She-Hulk. I'm throwing it out there.
I love that show. That's my jam.
I've only caught half of the first episode. I've just been too busy to sit down and. But now it's done, right? The season is done.
It's all done, yeah.
All right, so now I can try to find like a Saturday where I can binge it.
The season is done, but they have officially announced season 2 is already in production. So they went through a ton of haters out there and said, we don't care. We're still going to do it.
We're doing it. Good. Well, that's what we all have to do, right?
Oh,
exactly.
Absolutely. You think everybody loves demons? No.
I am shocked and appalled that people tell me they don't love cats. I don't understand that, but
see, same thing. But thank y'all very much for being here. I'm going to go ahead and drop y'all backstage. I'm going to do my closing statements. If y'all want to hang out, you're more than welcome to. But thank y'all again for being here. I certainly appreciate it and looking forward to everything y'all have coming up in the future.
Thanks for having us.
Thanks, Phil.
All right. So we had a great show with Don and Katrina here. We got to go ahead and, answer the age-old question, probably one of the oldest questions that are out there. Dogs or cats? Well, we always know it's cats. Cats are better. Please. Now, recent guest that I had on that was talking about dogs in his book and everything. I don't know. It's kind of a toss-up. Depends on which way you toss the coin. Just going to go ahead and ride the line on that one. But I always have a closing statement. Tonight's not going to be any different. It's always based on my guest and something that they've said, usually in a one-word statement that I like to go ahead and go off there. The thing that I came up with for tonight is the word perseverance. We talked a lot about things that happen and things that kind of throw monkey wrench into the works out there, but you always keep moving forward. You never stop. As soon as you get that forward motion to completely stop on there, it's next to impossible to go ahead and keep going again and get back up to that level. So my guests tonight have already shown, with the perseverance they got out there, they keep going no matter what. It doesn't matter how many times they get knocked around, haters talking about anything happening with whatever's going on with they've got, they still keep pushing forward. So it's not only just the industry to speak about that, but life in general. Anytime something throws something at you that's negative, well, just wipe it off and say, doesn't matter. I got plenty of positive to go ahead and put on that. Quick and easy. That's the way you take care of that. Doesn't even take a Band-Aid. Just throw some positive on it and it'll take care of everything. So that's the statement for tonight. Please remember to like, subscribe, and share so you don't miss on any of the content on YouTube. Since the Book of Face is not playing nice, we will no longer be over there. I'm pretty sure it's, robots taking over there, but that's just me saying that. If you see some red eyes, make sure and let me know. Until next time, don't miss out. Hell of a show is coming at you, and we are not stopping anytime soon. So thank you very much for being here. Looking forward to the next time. Hey, keep it indie, y'all.
I'm all dressed up and naked. I see what's mine and take it. Oh, yeah, the crown. So close I can taste it. I see what's mine and take it. Oh, yeah. Two kings are ruling castles. Welcome to my world of fun. Lions settle into sockets. Flip the switch and watch them run. Oh!